Straight out of Narawa here, New Zealand. Here's Maurieo. Hello, Maurieo Vlogs number 439. Fibre updates. Hello, welcome. Yes, the fibre is ever closer. So I had a knock on the door today, and the guys installing the fibre out in the street wanted to move my box on the outside of the house because we'd suggested that it was not in the best position, so they'd come to move it, which was really great. And I got talking to the guy, a very great guy actually, and we had quite a little conversation. And he got his one of his workers in to move the box a few millimeters out of the way so that we can get our scriber and things in for the work that we're doing. And while I was there, they also were blowing the fibre through the tube, which I didn't realise that all of these tubes and things that they were installing were all just little tubes, and that they didn't actually have the fibre in them at that point. And so he explained to me that they put the big cables in, which are actually a bundle of multiples of 12 small tubes, either 12 or 24, and then each one of those little tubes goes back to a cabinet position, and then the tube is continuously fed through, well, joined and jointed right to the house, so that there's, from the cabinet, there's a continuous tube from the cabinet to my connection box. And so while he was there, he was explaining it all to me, which was really great. I really appreciate that, because I know how tricky it is having someone asking you questions while you're working and things like that. But I was very interested in it. And anyway, he was in with the cell phone talking to the guy back at the cabinet, who eventually blew the little fibre optic, the piece of the fibre optic cable there, which is actually, or it would have been maybe a millimetre, maybe in a millimetre sort of diameter at most, and then inside that is 3 little strands of fibre, and each one of those strands is capable of taking 36,000 calls. And so he blew it through, and he said it was like 400 metres away. It took a couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden a little bit of purple fibre or string came through, and he positioned it in the box how he wanted it, and left a little bit extra for the guys to join on to. And then he took a little bit off it, and with a cigarette lighter he burnt the coating off, and showed me the very tiny fibres, which were, well, probably maybe a little bit thicker than a hair, but not much thicker. And that's how everything goes through. So we now have fibre to the outside of the house. And he was telling me that the cabinet that they're all coming from will be signed off perhaps sometime next week. And then that'll all be livened up and then ready for someone to come to the house and install the fibre from the box on the outside of the house to the inside of the house, which is very good. So in a couple of weeks we should have fibre, and he tells me that it should be considerably faster than the copper that I've got. So I did a little bit of an experiment with the copper last night, and I compared it to the to my mobile data, and I was getting 1 megabyte per second or something like that with the copper, and 8 with the mobile data, and it was like really quick. And he says that the fibre is going to be even faster again, but quite a lot of bandwidth. He said that at his house he's able to have 3 different smart TVs all streaming different material. So I'm quite looking forward to it, and it is getting ever closer. So yeah, fibre update. So we should be really raging along soon, and be able to do live streaming and stuff like that with relative ease. So that was bloody marvellous, and yeah, let's go and have a look at the diary today. So today's diary, I'm just going to add in here a shout out here, because I just realised that the guy there was yeah, pretty good. So I'm going to put in there the fibre guy, because he was really good, really fibre. Well, I'll just put fibre guy. I've done the fibre boys previously, it looks like. So there's the fibre guy in there for a bit of a shout out. So I've been my focus for the next couple of days is going to definitely be marking and getting my subjects all sorted. So there's not much time for anything else, and I've the lawns are not growing, so there's not too many problems there. So that's all very good. And yes, so we're going to do the fibre update, and then today's challenge is a rebus, and that's just another name for a little picture, the picture puzzles that I've got up there. I just happened to find out that they're called a rebus, which means a little pictures, cryptic little pictures that spell out a puzzle. So previously I called them the picture puzzle, but in fact they're a rebus. 121 hint 2 has been sorted out. Moz has discovered that it was a what it was and where, what, who, and the fibre guys yeah, deserve a bit of a shout out. So I've sorted out my emails and marking. So that's all very good. So let's just have a quick shout out here to the fibre guy that came today and was just so helpful and obliging and willing to explain everything he did to me, which everything he was doing, which I really found really enlightening and very helpful. So thank you very much, sir. I doubt that you're watching, but you know, it's going out there. The vibe's going out. It was a very great. I like the way that you dealt with the public, me. Yes, so that's pretty good. Today's challenge, here it is here. Well, it's coming up. Which movie name is hidden in the pictogram rebus below? So the little rebus there. So see if you can work that out. Now, visitor from the UK, my daughter's partner's mother, has arrived and is in place, and yeah, we've had some great little conversations and things going on, so it's always nice to have someone in the house. So yeah, so let's move on to yesterday's one, and it was who was this guy? And he was from the show that I was watching on Netflix, Rake, and this is Cleaver Green is the character played by Richard Roxburgh in Rake, and WT was onto that pretty smartly. So well done, WT, which yeah, brings us to the end of today's vlog. Marking. So a little bit boring. Perhaps once we get that sorted, we can have a little bit of well, I've got a little bit of time off actually, so I might be able to get up to something a little bit different or out of the ordinary. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But in the meantime, thank you for liking and subscribing, commenting, questioning, all that stuff you do to support my channel, Maurieo Vlogs. So all good. Cheers. See you. Smash that like button.